Hello.
Yo.
Oh, that transition's so much simpler now that I have a stream deck. I don't have to worry about unmuting anything. I just hit a button and everything's exactly how it should be.
It's like a whole new world, man.
It feels like it, honestly. I use it. I've used it to simplify like a lot of the things I do every day. Like just switching my audio from like my headset to like my main computer audio kind of thing.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Muting things. I just have a button.
I do think it's hilarious that like it's a macro pad. That's what this. It's a fancy graphic macro pad, and you have how many macro keys on your keyboard?
0.
You're not still rocking the G9 910?
No, I haven't. No, remember I got that newer keyboard that's smaller. It's got the keypad, but it has zero macro buttons.
It has no macros. You don't have like a macro function, because like my Razer's 60% keyboard still has macros. It's just on the normal keys. There's a button that I have to press.
I'm sure there is that way. Yeah, I'm sure there's, but that's still using like function keys and other thing. I don't have to do that. I just look over here and hit a button. Yeah. Yeah, it's
premium.
Yeah. I mean, look, I didn't think I had media keys at first either, because I had to go back to using function keys like I'm on a laptop. Like, or not function. Well, yeah, the FN fucking thing or whatever.
Yeah,
I had to go back to doing keys. That. Yeah.
Dark days, indeed.
Yeah. So. Oh, what
the?
Oh, yeah. I'm jacking stuff up apparently in OBS. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, Cody deleted everything.
I broke it again.
That's the nature of things.
Yeah,
to be broken.
It really is. So. I'm just it should be working now. I hope. We'll see.
We'll see how it works. Crossed.
Yeah, I accidentally deleted. So I've been messing with like OBS plugins and stuff, and I was like, hey, I should make a separate profile so I don't break my OLIP stuff. And then I made a separate like profile and whatnot, and and then I thought like the OLIP scenes had like just copied over naturally. So I was like, oh, I'll just get rid of these. And then I went back to the OLIP and I was like, I done fucked up. I was like, this is bad. I was like, fuck me. So yeah, so that's what I've spent like the past like 3 hours doing, is getting all the scenes set back up and whatnot. And it's been a good time. But anyways, boys, what have we been playing this week? What is Tim playing right now?
Oh man. Turns glasses downwards.
Right?
I'm not playing Fallout. I don't know.
You already beat Fallout, Tim.
You don't beat these games. You don't beat open world games. You just play them differently.
You just play them differently. There's some truth to that. So, anyways, Justin, what you been playing, my man?
I beat a game. I beat the first is it Secret of Monkey? I think Secret of Monkey Island is the title of the first one.
Yeah.
Classic LucasArts adventure game. I have a special edition, so you can play classic, where it has like the old like DOS graphics, which are beautiful if you don't hate pixels like Cody does. But you can also just freely like switch it over, like in MCC. You can switch between anniversary and classic. On the fly. You can do that in this game, where you switch over to the special edition, which is like
for remasters.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. And so you switch over and it's like the new art, but then they also recorded dialogue for the game, which didn't originally have spoken dialogue, which I really enjoyed, which was tragic because I liked the old school aesthetic visuals. But I really liked the voiceover that they added, so I found myself flip-flopping a lot. And
could you not do them separately?
No, you can't like mix and match. However, the second game does have that option where you can have the old graphics and the voiceover, which is going to be excellent. That game was kick-ass, super fucking funny. Very excited for the Sea of Thieves crossover next month, where they add Melee Island to the game and all those stupid characters from that game.
Yeah, I mean, I knew you would be super excited about the Sea of Thieves thing. I didn't think you'd be so excited you'd go back and play Monkey Island, though. I am a little bit surprised.
I'd never beat it. I always thought it was cool. I tried playing it like a couple times in the past, and I looked it up on how long to beat, and it was like, like 7 or 8 hours for the main storyline. It's like,
Right.
all right, I can do that. I can knock that out.
Right.
And finally beat it and laughed all the way through.
That's good to hear. I've never played Monkey Island, so I don't really know how hilarious those games are. But that's all I ever hear about is like, oh, these games are fucking funny, dude. You should probably play them. And it's like a lot of games I should probably play.
Yeah,
I don't have time.
The one joke that everyone like remembers from that game is you're learning to sword fight,
Right.
and what you learn is it's not how you use your sword, it's how you like insult people and catch them off guard.
What?
And so someone says to you, what is it? Oh yeah, you fight like a dairy farmer. And so your response is, how appropriate, you fight like a cow. Just shit like that.
Yeah. Tim, outside of Fallout, which you're currently playing as we're talking, what else have you been playing?
Some demos, mostly.
Nothing. You haven't been. Well, let me guess. You've been.
Wesnoth played a few good rounds with Wesnoth. Had the most epic game of Wesnoth I've ever had the other night.
No way.
So I was playing against the computer, and I had a game where I was playing as Northerners, and I was playing against I think it was dwarves, and it was this ridiculous like. Because Wesnoth, when you play against a computer, there's almost always a point where at the beginning I'm losing, and then things turn around and I just steamroll the computer. Like there's one pivotal battle, and it usually takes like 15 turns. Like I don't usually play very long games against the computer. This took 57 turns, and I was sitting here going, what the fuck is going on?
Holy shit.
I won a total war of attrition. It was amazing, and the only reason that I won was towards the actual turning point. The PC had like several like level 2 dwarves in an area, and they were killing some of my level 2 trolls, and I was like, oh god. But then one of my level 2 trolls leveled up to level 3. And it was, we just steamrolled from there. It was
level 3, man.
It was insane. It was so long. It took so long. I know every time I try and get you guys to play Wesnoth with me, you guys are like, it takes so long. And I'm like, it's not that long, because legitimately the average game for me is 12 to 20 turns against the computer. That's it.
Against the computer?
Yeah. Well, the computer makes moves
short.
instantly. The computer doesn't sit there and think about it forever.
Yeah.
Like, we probably play about the same number of turns when we play together, but you're playing like a human. You're thinking, you're going through, and the computer just goes, move this here, move this here, move this here.
Right,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
It is long.
It turns
so
into
it turns
a long
into
game.
3 hours is what it turns into.
Yeah.
Like if we had played that game 57 turns, we would not have finished.
No, dude.
We would have
been
gone
bedtime.
on for 2.5 hours, and it would have been like, all right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been around for all that. That's for sure.
So that's cool. Those are really the only two not demos that I've played this week.
Are we just going to skip over how many hours Tim had in Fallout 4 before he beat it?
Oh yeah. You want to let everybody know?
So according to Steam, it's 443, but I started playing it back when Steam didn't very accurately track your offline play, so it's probably closer to 600 because I used to play disconnected from the internet quite a bit. Right. And because Starfield's coming, and I pre-ordered Starfield, and I'm very excited about the game, I went, oh yeah, I'm like almost done with the campaign. I should probably finish that. I was like on the last mission. I just had to finish the last mission.
Just saving it.
Yeah, so it's now done, and like I'm gonna play through the DLC for the rest of the summer and like get through that. I'm already on Vault.
Get up to the 700-hour mark.
I don't think it'll take me that long. I think I'll probably get it done in the next 50 hours, and then be like, all right, well, I'll still play around with it till Starfield comes. I was telling Cody,
hours.
I think it's hilarious that everybody's so excited about jetpacks in Starfield and how it adds verticality to it. And I'm like, this is a feature that's in Fallout 4. You just need to build it for your power armor. But
true.
Unlike Starfield, they showed you like basically flying, like floating for a good long while. It's very bursty in Starfield because you're getting this walking tank into the air for a second, or in Fallout. But I definitely like jetpacked over a dude, shotgunned him in the face, opened my inventory as I hit the ground, pulled out my revolver, and domed his 3 buddies earlier today, and it was super epic and fun. Also, at level 94, you get a lot of really difficult encounters. Logan was watching me play, and 2 vertibirds got shot down. So, right in front of me, one of them actually landed. I was on a roof, and I had to jetpack off the roof so that I didn't get hit by a vertibird and die. And I play on Survivalist, so I would have lost in-game days of progress, and that would have been bad.
Is that just what they call helicopters?
Yeah.
Vertibirds, yeah, it's they're yeah, it's interesting. But like, so we're during that fight, I've got like 4 paladins in power armor, a couple of paladin commanders that are not in power armor, and there's raider scavengers and veterans who are super high level raiders in the game. And then there's also like 8 super mutant primuses, which are like the high level super mutants in the game, all shooting at each other. And it was amazing. And it was normally a firefight in Fallout should last about 30 seconds. This took like 3 minutes because everything had such high health. And so I'm hitting things with like 700 damage gun and things aren't dying. I'm like, what is going on? This is amazing. And Logan's going over here going, for the blood god, over my shoulder. I wish I had been recording.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's funny.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad, Tim, that you finally finished Fallout. I, on the other hand, I haven't really played anything outside of BattleBit and Diablo lately.
I forgot. I also got Diablo. I've been playing Diablo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
BattleBit. Look, if nobody has that fucking game, BattleBit is where it's at. Okay, that game is fucking fantastic.
If you like online shooter games,
Yes.
buy that game. It's $15.
Yeah.
It's a drop in the bucket. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's basically the Battlefield that everybody wanted. It's really the best way to sum it up. So
Yeah, dude.
yeah, it's a good time. And then I beat the campaign for Diablo finally, because I was being held back. The way that works is like you play through the campaign, and then after you beat the campaign, there's something called a capstone dungeon, and hold on one sec.
Mm-hmm. Capstone conversation right now. Tim, what is your build in Fallout 4?
Well, it was a like sneaky sniper build, but now I'm level
Stealth archer. Yep.
Yeah, kind of. But that's my usual Fallout build. For me, like that started in Fallout 3, not in Skyrim. I've always kind of played Bethesda games as like a stealth character that will, attack from long range, and then I'll also level something so that I have something up close as well. But now I'm level 94, so now it's like I've kind of gone into science, so I can like max out my upgrades, so like I can make any mod I want for my power armor. My melee combat is maxed out. My
You're looking at your stats right now, aren't you?
Yeah, my strength and perception are maxed out. My agility was the only thing I maxed out at first, but then level 96, there's been a lot of upgrades.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really have a build now so much as I can just do whatever the hell I want.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, is there a level cap? Is it max at 100?
Nope.
You just keep going. Nice.
Obviously, it slows down a lot after a while, but also it does the traditional Bethesda thing where everything scales to your level, so you can just keep playing forever, and it remains a decent challenge the whole time. And like I said earlier, I play on Survivalist, which is their max difficulty setting with survival settings. You can only save when you rest or when you quit the game, so it can be kind of you can lose. I've had some Dark Souls moments where I'm like, God, I just lost 3 days of progress. I'm just gonna walk away because I will have quit out, and I mean 3 literal days because I'll have quit out every time I stop playing and have not slept out of bed. Then I come back and go, oh fuck me.
Brutal.
Sorry about that. My daughter keeps coming to try and get me to help her with Luigi's Mansion. I just had to explain to her. I was like, look, you should be going to bed, not playing the video game. It's like, like you'll have to help you later. But anyways, for Diablo, I was getting I'm trying to get to World Tier 3. So to get to World Tier 3, you have to beat the campaign, you do the capstone dungeon, and then you can do World Tier 3, which unlocks more end game content and stuff like that. So So that's where I was getting to, and so now I'm bouncing back and forth between my softcore character, and then I made a hardcore rogue, and I'm just kind of like
Ooh.
bouncing.
Don't call it that.
Yeah, huh, what softcore? That's what they call it.
Don't call it that.
Oh my god. Anyways, that's the terminology, Tim, that is widely used for the community. I don't know what else to tell you.
I've played Diablo 3 for a decade. Now,
Have you
granted,
ever
I don't
played
go on.
hardcore.
I don't go on the Reddit. Yeah, I've played hardcore. I don't ever go on the Reddit. I don't play it with a lot of other people. I
Yeah,
just
well,
played by
you
myself.
can just stop it. You don't go on the Reddit.
Never heard people
It's
call
not-
it that.
Yeah, the Reddit and or the Diablo forums, or really anywhere.
Bro, who uses forums? It's 2023.
The Diablo Discord.
Yeah, like you can
Those
go
old
anywhere.
heads,
That's
that's
it's just
another-
something that. Either way, anyway, so I bounce back and forth between those two characters. I've already lost a hardcore character once. I hit level 10 and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this dungeon, right? And the butcher was in there, and so that was the end of my life.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, this is the one thing I was worried about, and he butchered me to
Unfortunate.
death. That's exactly what happened. So, but I've just been bouncing between those two games personally, and a little bit of demos for the Steam Next Fest, right? I
Yeah.
think Justin, you've played the most. What's your favorite one so far?
My favorite one that I've played, honestly, a lot of them have been really fun. But today I played one that was really cool called Leica Aged Through Blood. And the way I would describe this game is a twin stick shooter, but Excite Bike. You're this little fox person in this post-apocalyptic wasteland, and you have a dirt bike. And you get a call from your son who's like, hey, Uncle Jesse has been murdered by the birds and he was
What?
crucified with his own guts.
What?
Help. So you have to go and kind of start this rescue mission, and you go and you pick up a gun, and it's all like 2D levels. And the way you control the character is weird, right? Like you're on this dirt bike, and so W is accelerate, S is brake,
Yeah.
and then A and D lean you forward or backwards on the bike. And basically, if you flip over, you die. You wipe out, you're dead. You have to restart from your last checkpoint.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a physics game. You're like going off jumps and trying to like not fuck up and die. And then spacebar is what you use to like reverse direction. So you'll be like going this way and then you'll have to like descend and you flip around. So the controls are kind of crunchy, especially when you start using your gun. You get a gun and you can like do like slow time, shoot people, pretty cool. But the way you reload isn't by pressing R, it's by performing a backflip in the air to reload. That's how you reload your gun. You have to do a backflip, which is pretty sweet, I've got to say. There's also a parry mechanic where if someone's shooting you and the projectile is about to hit you, you hit spacebar to like flip your bike around and you'll shoot the projectile back at them. So like
smack it
there's
with your
constantly... Yeah, you ping. There's constantly just like shit going on, and it's got a very like brutal, mature plot. It would seem,
Yeah.
very gory. But the only reason I checked it out is because it's the same developers who made Friends vs. Friends, which I've been enjoying a lot. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Very weird, very cool.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one. That one didn't. I just kind of like scrolled through the list, right, as you do for Steam Next Fest.
Yeah.
And I downloaded probably like 7 or 10 demos, right? I think one of them's actually an MMO. I think it's called like Dragon's Air or something like that.
Oh, weird.
Get in my library real quick. Yeah, Dragon's Air. Dragon Air Silent Gods demo. I'm pretty sure this is an MMO.
I feel like it's unusual to see that.
Yeah, MMO online co-op is in tags, but yeah, and I haven't had a chance to play them all. I was actually sick this morning, so that was fun. But I have gotten a chance to play Wizard with a Gun, which we've mentioned a couple times. That's a game I'm excited for. I played Gourd, another game that I have been excited for in our group chats. that I've just been kind of like, I saw like the announcement cinematic that they did a while ago now, and I've just like been following it ever since. And
I
then
meant to play that demo because I knew that you would definitely play that one, but I didn't get around to it.
Here's the best way I can explain Gord. I was thinking about this after we briefly talked about it earlier. It's, imagine like a Witcher or like a Warhammer Fantasy type world mixed with like a RimWorld or Dwarf Fortress type systems, right? Like the people have like individual like wants and needs and all that kind of stuff. Not like the Sims, but you know what I'm talking about, more in that Dwarf Fortress RimWorld type way.
Their own personality and shit.
Yeah. And then other than that, it's kind of like your traditional like base building thing. But you can go out and do like little expeditions with like your folks kind of thing. Like you go out and then you can like micromanage some stuff, like abilities and things like that. There's magic and whatnot in the fucking game too. It's pretty, like, from what I saw, and I stopped playing because I didn't want to like ruin the game for myself. It's pretty like looking like it's gonna be a fairly in-depth system. So I'm pretty excited for that. Like I've been excited for. And then Wizard with the Gun, which I just played like right before the podcast because I hadn't had a chance to play it. Definitely gonna get that. It's not what I thought it was gonna be, for sure. I thought it was gonna be a roguelite. And it kind of is, but there's a lot more going on in the world.
Yeah. There's a lot of systems that I think we probably haven't even gotten to in the demo.
Right, yeah. But the demo's cool. I really like the character creator. I was a big fan of that.
Yeah. I was surprised by that. I didn't realize it was going to have custom characters.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. I just thought it'd all be randomized. Is kind of what I thought it would be.
I thought it was going to play like a slightly different version of Wizards of Legend, which is another fun one.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the two games I've probably put the most time into. I also tried a game called Folk Hero. It's okay. I don't want to talk bad about it. I only played it for like 15 minutes. I did a run.
It looked okay.
Yeah, it's a roguelite. If you like roguelites, then you'll like that game. So, but then there's some other ones that I got in here, like Quasimorph. You guys see this?
No, I did not.
Did you guys ever play? Now that I need to remember what the game name is.
Quasimorph. Is it the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No, it's like it's. I got the game in my. Did you guys ever play Sword of the Stars: The Pit?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So Sword of the Stars: The Pit.
I forgot I was on Pushak. Yes.
Yeah. So Sword of the Stars: The Pit is like a top-down. It's like is it a roguelite? I think it is a roguelite. Anyways, but it's top-down, and you're going into like these bases and stuff or whatever, and you find items and you can craft and all this other stuff, and it's just like you're just gonna keep going down, further down and down and down, kind of. And this has a lot of the same look to it, and I'm excited to try it out.
Okay. Yeah, I found it here. That looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks more like it's about kind of like a SCP type vibe, because it says take on a role of a hardened PMC fighter in a dark turn-based extraction RPG kind of thing. So I think the end goal is obviously different, but I mean that's okay. It gave me a lot of those vibes, kind of.
Yeah, I dig that whole art style too. It looks like something out of like Super Nintendo.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of good things about Norland. That's another one that I try.
Norland?
Yeah, Norland. You guys remember Splattercat, that YouTuber I talk about, that does like 30-minute YouTube videos where he plays demos or like showcases indie games and stuff like that. He streamed this game, I guess, and he was very impressed.
Kingdom Sim.
Yeah. So I don't know. Those are the games that I found that I was pretty like, okay, yeah, I'm here for this. There's a couple more anime ones in here. I do need to try Sea of Stars just for
yes.
Just for Justin.
Everyone who has ever enjoyed a JRPG in your life, go play the demo for Sea of Stars immediately. You're welcome.
Did you play the demo? Is it good?
I played the previous. I don't know if it's the same demo that they had before, but they had a demo on the Nintendo Switch that I played, and it was dope.
Oh, it's probably the same then.
I think so. Probably. Yeah. Big recommend.
Other than that, Tim, is there any games that you're excited for from the Steam Next Fest that you've been playing?
SteamWorld Build. I'm a big fan of the SteamWorld series. I have all the games, and I have always found them very I like the art style. I like kind of that robot steampunk in space thing they got going. It's very unique. They even have one that's plays kind of like Darkest Dungeon called SteamWorld Quest, and that one's a lot of fun. Takes itself very lightheartedly. So nice. SteamWorld Build is in that universe and with that art style, but it's a management game. It's like a city builder, so it's cool. It's really it's neat. I don't know if it's like my favorite thing that I played from the demos, because I really like, what was that? I can't remember the name of it. What's the game?
Oh my gosh, Fortune's Run.
Fortune's Run, which is like, the way I described it in the chat was like if the Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces games had a baby with Cyberpunk. Fortune's Run. It's very 90s aesthetic. If this game would have come out in the 90s, it would have looked amazing though. And it has some really cool RPG systems in it. The voice acting is pretty cool. It's very self-aware. There's even a point where it says, okay, I've been auto-saving for you, but the tutorial's over now, so you're on your own. I laughed really hard when I got to that part. I haven't beaten the demo because the demo's pretty long.
There's quite a bit to it, it seems. I didn't get to that point with the autosave thing even.
Yeah, so I got through the tutorial, and then when you load into like the first mission, it says that, and it's really funny. There are, from what I am gathering from playing the game, there's multiple characters that you play through each of their stories, and it's not like
that's what it looked like.
Yeah, it's not like an RPG in the sense where you have a build, but it has a lot of RPG mechanics. It's really cool. I'm really digging it.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool that the game has like immersive sim elements to it as well. Like you can figure out weird ways to do shit in that game if you're paying attention to your environment.
Yeah.
So hold on, I'm curious, Justin. Are you excited for the multiple characters thing? Because it sounds like it's like Octopath Traveler.
Oh man. Listen, as long as like the fucking characters aren't traveling in a pack together and literally ignoring each other for the entire game, I'm cool with it.
Okay. Oh man, I was just curious. Oh,
my hatred for Octopath Traveler is legendary.
It is legendary.
But yeah, Fortune's Run looks fucking dope. I am excited for that. I didn't wishlist everything that I played. I definitely wishlisted that.
Yeah, I haven't played that one yet. But I don't even know if I'll have time to get to them all before they
I know.
Demos.
It's like the 26th, right?
With the last few, so it ends on the 26th, but the last few Next Fests, people have been leaving their demos up for a good long while afterwards.
I noticed that, yeah.
Some of them
do. Little buffer period.
I haven't been able to go and play the Moonstone Island demo for this Next Fest that I tried at the last one, but that is one that they definitely turned off like immediately. It's like, fuck.
Sure.
The Pokemon clone.
It's Pokemon and Stardew Valley made a baby.
I'm so surprised that Cody's playing a Pokemon game that's not Pokemon. I'm so shocked.
I mean,
yo, where's the Pal World demo?
Right? Oh my god, that's true. But you know what? Since we can use this as an easy transition.
Wait, I want to talk about another game.
What you got?
There's a game that I think shows a lot of promise called On Guard. It's a sword fighting game. You play as this sword fighting woman, and it's like a third person perspective. It was pretty linear. Felt kind of old school in that way, where you're kind of like going down corridors, fighting enemies, jumping up things. But the combat system is cool. You hit people with your sword, right? You've got your basic, like your light attacks, but then they have tells that you can parry, and some of them are like multi-hit, and you have to like actually like parry multiple times and like read their attacks, strike back, and then like unparryable attacks that you have to dodge out of the way.
Right.
as you may be accustomed to. But this game has like some fucking cool comedy. Like the dialogue was pretty funny,
Right.
and you can also like interact with objects in the world. For example, you can take a bucket and throw it at somebody, and it'll just be on their fucking head, and their dialogue just becomes like mumbling that you can't discern, which cracked me up a little bit. There's another point where in the tutorial you have to knock them into the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's set in like Spain, so everybody's got like dope facial hair, like Renaissance era, I guess. And this dude is just like, you can't knock me into the water. I just waxed my mustache. Just goofy shit. It was tagged as like a spectacle fighter style video game, which I'm big into that genre, I would say. And so it just caught my eye, and it was pretty fun. Definitely rough around the edges. Like they could definitely use an audio engineer doing a little more work on it. Yeah. But overall, pretty fun, and definitely going to follow that and see how it shapes up.
Yeah, no, I actually, now that you mentioned it, I did see that, and I thought about it, and I was like, nah. I was just like, I don't know if I'd like it a whole lot, but I'm glad that you were enjoying it. The bucket things actually just becomes mumbled. Tim, was there any other games you wanted to highlight? No? Okay.
No.
Right. Well, then we'll move on to the Nintendo Direct that played today. Opened with Pokemon, which I found was interesting.
Was not expecting that.
I wasn't either, but I think part of the reason we're not expecting that is because we haven't been paying attention to it. Really,
yeah, there are tons of people who are playing that game every day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are there? No one I know talks about it anymore. Now, granted, it's not my job to follow all that stuff anymore because I don't manage a GameStop, but still.
Yeah, I would say there's probably still a pretty healthy player base because it's a competitive Pokemon.
Yeah, the competitive scene has to move with the games, right? So that's where they will be. And then young people who just like have no frame of reference, like this is their Pokemon game.
Yeah. And that's in some ways good and in some ways bad. You know, I'm sorry that you can't get any legit graphics in a Pokemon game.
Run any better now? Like I could forgive the graphics if it ran well, but does it run any better now? Because that's the big thing.
No, dude.
Probably not. I mean, most games on the Switch don't run well unless they're first party.
Your game can look like shit but run great, or it can run like shit and look great, and I will be relatively forgiving. But if it's both bad running and bad looking, I'm sorry. It's not for me.
Yeah, the only thing I really want to say about this is, so they were like showing off some new DLC, right?
Right.
Like the DLC looked interesting. Like it talked about a plot point that is featured in the story that I thought was really interesting, and they didn't spend a lot of time on. However, when your fucking art style is compressed to JPEG, I just can't get behind it, dude. I cannot get behind it. It's so fucking ugly. Oh, I hate it. Oh, it looks so bad.
Yeah.
Even like in their like video that they were showing, there was a point where there was like someone with a Pokemon, some flying Pokemon in the background, and it's supposed to be flapping, but it's just like spazzing the fuck out. Like, how did that get in this trailer? Come on.
I think it's just to the point. Like, Pokemon is what we don't want from any other franchise, where it's literally it just prints money regardless of what they put out. Because you know what the funny thing is, the card game, they're coming out with this Pokemon 151, and those cards are fucking gorgeous, like fantastic cards. And they've been making it a little bit easier to get like hits now, like Scarlet with the Scarlet and Violet release. There's just more hits. There's more full arts and stuff. Like your full arts and stuff like that. Cards that you're actually excited to pull, not just your general,
the chase cards.
Yeah. But there's just like more of those in general, which if you're into like the monetary side of all that, it decreases like the value of those cards. But for it's made for kids. You know what I mean? So it upped that whole excitement level. It's just I just hate that they just don't give a shit. They're like, we're gonna put out whatever, and people are still gonna buy it, and it's kind of is what it is. I wish they gave it the same care they gave, Zelda, but we'll never
Yeah,
see that.
we've had that conversation, right?
Yeah.
We've talked it to death.
We have, so we won't go too far into it. Other than that, the only other game I really wanted to highlight was the end of it, which was Super Mario Brothers on LSD, because that's what that trailer fucking looked like.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
so true.
RPG?
No,
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, and
Cody doesn't understand how important it is.
I understand Super Mario RPG is like a big deal, but for me, I was like, we're gonna end the show on drugs. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Mario actually did the shrooms this time.
Right.
What was it called? Super Mario Land Wonder?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is interesting looking. It looks like they're really going back to like 2D Mario roots with this one.
Yeah.
But they're really defying expectations at every turn. Like there's just weird shit going on. Like you're walking on this pipe and it starts like scrunching up and like moving around. Oh, yeah. There's a part where you like elongate. Everything in the level is like super elongated.
Yeah.
Just off the wall stuff. Yeah. Which I think is pretty neat. That seems like a neat thing to do with the 2D formula.
Yeah, no, honestly, it looked
as
fun.
A finisher.
Yeah, I was very much like, oh, we're just gonna tell everybody to do drugs. Like that's just what
I thought for sure. Like Metroid Prime 4, something big. It wasn't even mentioned.
We're never gonna get Metroid Prime 4. I don't feel like
it'll be on whatever their next system is.
It'll be on the same system that whatever Valve game, Half-Life 3. It'll be on the same system as Half-Life 3 whenever that comes out.
Oh yeah,
they're in the same ecosystem at this point. So, but yeah, no, I thought that was just a super interesting. Like there were some other interesting things. Like they got the Detective Pikachu game coming out, which is a little jarring. Watching Pikachu actually talk outside of the Pokemon movie, but I know that was like a video game series prior to the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Most of the showings I think were pretty meh. Yeah. Pikmin, meh. I don't really care about it. Everything else was like pretty like low tier, just like felt like weird third party stuff that no one's ever heard of. But they announced out of nowhere, I didn't hear anyone talking about this prior to the event. Super Mario RPG remake.
Yeah, I was really surprised when I saw that, honestly.
Incredible. I was blown away. That game is just crazy. It has such a huge like cult following. Fucking Square makes a Mario RPG game. What? Yeah. What world was this? This is insane.
I saw somebody post like a Facebook reel or something like that after the direct ended, and it was like Wario in that the soccer game that they have, and he's like running across the field, but there's like money coming down, and the caption was, "Would Nintendo announce a Super Mario RPG Maker remake or whatever?" And they're running through piles of money, kind of thing. I'm just like, this is why Nintendo just doesn't
WarioWare. By the way, we just had one last year.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, Wario.
That seems weird.
Sold a bunch of it. Like people pre-ordered it, and I was like, okay. And then there's like another one. I was like, oh, it's not like an expansion. This is like a whole other WarioWare game. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say this for WarioWare. They actually use the fucking Joy-Cons. God bless them.
Yeah,
somebody's out there using those Joy-Cons.
Oh man, yeah.
No one else was going to do it.
Am I the only one who absolutely hates what Nintendo does with the voiceover during every trailer?
No.
What?
It's like they're the only one who every trailer that they show in their showcase they do the voiceover for, and I'm sitting there going like, dude, just stop, just let me watch the trailer.
What do you mean?
Are you talking about like the guy who announces a game coming up?
No, he talks over the whole thing.
What?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Did you watch the audio description version?
No.
Are you
I don't know what you mean at all.
They definitely did it on mine.
What one were you watching? Were you watching the Nintendo official one?
Yeah.
On YouTube?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Do they have more than one?
I'm sure they
So
do.
Okay, maybe it's the way I watch it. So I didn't get to watch it live on their official channel. So typically when I don't get to watch it live, I'll watch a YouTuber's like reaction to it.
Okay.
So I was watching beat 'em ups today, and this has been a thing whenever I watch Nintendo Direct, though, I usually will watch Young Yeah or beat 'em ups or like Wolf Den or somebody who does a lot more Switch stuff than me because I want their perspective in it since they're more in it. And almost every single time they're watching one where there's the like guy who does the announcement also talks through the whole fucking thing, and so I just thought that was just like a thing that they did every single one. Is everyone I'm watching doing the narrative description ones? Like,
you're gonna have to send that link to us because I'm still kind of struggling to understand.
Either that or he's really
that
bothered
sounds
by
weird.
something that we are not. Because maybe
Yeah,
the dude
one
does
of
talk
those.
and we just don't care, and so
Yeah.
it doesn't even register.
Yeah, that'll be a mystery.
You're still on push to talk, bud.
I was
Oh.
pushing. Oh, because
Oh.
I was in Chrome. I was in Chrome. I had Chrome open. Chrome doesn't like it.
Rome.
Chrome's like, no, you will not press caps lock outside of me. No.
Oh, there was actually another cool thing that they mentioned. First on Super Mario RPG, they announced it's coming out this year, September, November, one of those months,
I can't remember,
holiday
but
season.
I do want to say they did have a lot of games that are coming out holiday season, like October,
Yeah.
November, December timeframe.
Yeah,
Which I
pretty
thought was
solid.
interesting. Yeah.
But also, Super Mario RPG is eligible for the Nintendo voucher, which is great news for me because I bought the voucher, which anyone who doesn't know, you can spend $100 and you get 2 vouchers. You can spend each voucher on a game on the Nintendo eShop, and it's only certain games, so you're limited, right? But I did that so I could get Zelda and some other game at some point in time. There wasn't anything on there that I really wanted to get, or I already had the games that were available. So this might be my second voucher game, unless some crazy announcement happens between now and the release of that. Because it is coming in at $60.
Yeah.
Okay, I put it in the chat. I started it at 29 minutes on the dot. Don't listen to Wood who beat him ups. Don't listen to him. Listen to the direct, and this is what I see every time I watch a Nintendo Direct, if I'm being honest. I feel
must
like I
check it out
watched
right
a
now.
couple of them while I was at GameStop, and I was watching the official Nintendo ones, and this was a thing. It's always driven me nuts. But maybe I'm just not watching the right one.
When? 29? Yeah.
Yeah, so I have it at 29. Really, any of the trailers. I just picked one. I was like, oh, it's the Sonic game. So he talks through the whole fucking thing.
You talk this guy who's like, do thing is Amy, do thing is Knuckles.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is definitely something that really bothers you and doesn't bother.
This is
anybody
normal.
else.
Yeah, okay, it bothers the shit out of me because the guy just talks the whole time. Every single gameplay trailer they show at the directs, every single time. And the other thing that I always think is weird is now every company has like a message from some of their executives, or like they'll have an executive on screen to say something from time to time. But Nintendo's the only one where they are in between every trailer, and it's like, oh, okay, like it's cool the first couple times. I'm like, all
It's
right,
not every
That's the
trailer.
Nintendo-
It's like every 3 or 4. What are you talking about?
every first party trailer. Let me rephrase. Every first party Nintendo game, they
Yeah.
appear before to announce it. And it's fine. It's cool. It's the way they want to do it. That doesn't bother me as much, but I do think it's a very Nintendo way to do things.
Normally
Okay.
saying that is like derogatory, but it's just the weirdest thing to have a problem with that I've
I don't
heard
have a
from
problem
you.
with that one. I don't have a problem with that one. That one's just that
Why
one's
did
just
you
weird
bring
to
it
me
up?
as odd. Because it's another thing they do that just strikes me as odd. It strikes me as really weird. Like, it bothers me the whole talking over the gameplay the entire time. Like,
It
I've
just felt like a trailer to me. Like in
yeah.
trailers, you have people talking about what's going on.
we watched that exact trailer during the Xbox showcase because that's where that's why I went with the Sonic one. That trailer was at Xbox, and that's not a thing. That's not just a thing over the trailer.
I think the difference is Nintendo caters to children, and so
That's probably fair. And
mean,
children
that's
who are
probably-
actually just adults. That's fair.
yeah. I mean, if I had to give you a reason why, it's probably like, oh, this is catered for kids. They're all like all this is catered for kids. So they're gonna sit here and explain everything that's on screen, so the 5-year-old knows what to tell their parents when they go, "Hey, I want this game," right?
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that
The
makes
direct.
perfect sense. It's something that whenever I watch the directs, I always go, You just always that's
I could
great.
be playing Follow right now. Fuck.
Yeah, that's my eyes glaze over a little bit. I'm like, I just want to learn about the games, but like I want to learn about the games with my eyeballs, not my ear holes. I don't know.
What?
The other cool thing I think from the Nintendo Direct, I don't know if you guys like playing Mario Kart, but I'm a big fan of Mario Kart, and I bought the like whole DLC pass or whatever
Yeah.
for Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
And they announced some new tracks, right? They've still got like
Yeah.
waves of DLC coming. They announced some new tracks, but they also announced like 3 new characters
Yeah,
for
they
this
did,
one,
which
which
I
is
thought was
like more
interesting,
than
yeah.
they've done in one go before. PD Piranha. I think there is
Wizard Boy.
somebody else. Oh yeah, Kamek.
Something like that, I don't know.
Dresses up like Princess Peach, does weird
Yeah.
stuff with Bowser, you know.
Yeah.
And then the
Does
best
weird
character of
stuff with
all,
Bowser.
they're adding Wacky Wiggler, which
Yeah.
is that yellow centipede thing,
Yeah.
which is really weird because you can also drive a cart that is the Wacky Wiggler. So I absolutely expect when that DLC drops, everyone is going to be going Wiggler online, and I can't wait to see it.
Probably. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. I have Mario Kart 8. I didn't get the DLC stuff for it because I don't ever play it. My daughter plays it every. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was cool. And it said this was like the 5th wave that they've put out since
I
they
think
announced
so.
it. Which I was
Yeah,
like, that's
there's
a lot
been
of
a lot.
content. Yeah, that's a lot of content
Yeah.
for it. So definitely makes it worth it. I just want to go back to what Tim was saying real quick. He wants to learn about a game with his eyeballs and not his ears. So no audio in any trailers ever.
No,
Zero
no.
audio. There
want
can't
the
be
game
music.
audio.
There
Bro,
can't be.
I want the game audio. I want the music. I don't want some unless it's like a developer and they're telling me things that I wouldn't
Yeah.
learn anywhere else. I don't need a description of what I'm seeing in front of my face. You can fly as Tails. You can run as Sonic. You can glide as Knuckles. I'm like, okay, things you've been able to do since Sonic 2 or Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles. Cool. Shut up.
Some people weren't alive when those games came out.
That's fine, but you know,
We're old,
I mean, it's
Tim.
fine for you.
they can
Yeah.
just play Sonic Origins then, which is kind of what that game is, but it's just 3D-ized. It's just
All right.
This game's very different than
Yeah.
Sonic Origins.
I don't have a whole lot of opinions on Sonic in general. Look, Sonic
There's
Frontiers
going to be
DLC,
a Sonic
that's all.
event coming up.
Oh, is there? Is that
Yeah.
is that the DLC for
I think
Sonic
Friday,
Frontiers
maybe.
announcement? Probably.
I'm sure they'll talk about that. Maybe they'll launch it. I don't know if they have
Yeah.
a definitive date for the start of that.
Oh man. All right, so real quick, we got about 10 minutes left. Wanted to hit on Xbox. Increasing prices across the
Not for
board.
PC Game Pass, baby.
Yeah, so I found that interesting. So just to give the whole story here, they're matching PlayStation's price hike across most of the planet. Just to
For
be
their consoles,
competitive.
right?
Yeah, for the consoles. But it's only Series X. There's no price hike for Series S or the new Series S Plus. I don't even know what
It'd
that
be
thing's
really
called.
weird if they did. It's just the Series S 1 terabyte, and the way you tell them apart is one's black, one's white.
Well, right, but I didn't know if they came out with like an official name outside of that. But anyways,
Mhm.
so yeah, so it's just a Series X bump. There's no Series S bumps to the price, and they're up in Game Pass by about $1.
Oh, it's two.
So it's $1. What I was looking at is like $9.99 for just the Xbox version is now $10.99, right? It's
Mhm.
only $1. But then it went from $14.99 to $16.99 for Ultimate. So it's like a $2 hike for the Ultimate, and it's like
For
a $1 hike.
everything.
$1 hike if you're just on the console, and then there's no price change if you're using Game Pass through PC. And then also you won't see a price hike unless you're a new member. If you're a new member, I think it was July 6th is when those price hikes go into effect. And then anybody else, the price hike will go into effect at the, like, if you have a yearly subscription, it'll go up after that. If you have a quarterly subscription.
Oh, sure.
If you have a monthly subscription, it's not going up until August. And it's September in Germany or something like that. I don't know. There's some weird
Weird. Some
yeah,
laws or something.
Yeah. So there's some weirdness in there, but yeah. So they're doing that. I don't
We
think
all
anybody's
knew
surprised.
that it was inevitable.
Yeah.
No,
They couldn't
it-
possibly keep the prices
No.
at what they were at.
I mean, it was
I'm
$1.
surprised they held out as long as they did on the Series X thing, because their whole thing was last year when I was at GameStop, when Sony and Meta were all like, yeah, we're going to be upping our prices. And Sony was like, everywhere outside of the US and Canada, because of consumer protection laws, probably. I thought it was interesting that Xbox was like, okay, we're going to wait till it's a little easier to get an Xbox, and then we'll do it.
Yeah, I guess I just don't understand the price hike in general, personally. Also, not to get back into this, I don't understand price hiking a console that can only run Starfield at 30 FPS anyways. Like, what the fuck's the point of buying it? Just get yourself a damn PC. But that's besides the point.
If your $500 console can, I don't know. We talked about that the other day.
Yeah, we did. That's why I don't want to get too into it. But that literally just popped into my head. I guess I personally don't understand in general the price hikes across the board. Like, why? Like, it's always been a thing that you take a loss on the console and then you make it up on the back end with like selling games. And then PlayStation did it, and everybody was like, "What?" Like, it's never. I don't remember any other generation where like mid-generation, 3 years into it, they just raised the price, and now they've done that
never
basically
happened before.
globally. Yeah, I didn't think it had. So now they've done it basically globally. Everybody has, other than Nintendo, because Nintendo's like, we just outsell anybody anyway, so who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just weird. I don't understand the logic behind
Nintendo
it.
makes money on their consoles.
No, I know they do. I mean, they make a lot of
They're
money.
they're the only one that has good margins on it, and that's because they're using 10-year-old chips and everything. All things we complain about is why they make money on it.
Yeah. Well, and that's partially why I think they haven't released a new console yet. They don't want to get rid of the revenue that they get from
Yeah, they still
selling the
making
console.
money.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want to upgrade the hardware because why? We're making money. Much like with Pokemon. Why? Why make it better? You know what I mean?
Wow.
So yeah, so that was
more of this one than
interesting.
any other one before. It can't be bad.
So I am curious, do you guys think the timing of this is a little bit so they can, because they did say this has nothing to do with the potential acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Do you think they did it now so they could say that? Or do you think
that doesn't really make sense? If their whole thing is, oh no, we're more consumer friendly, blah 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 blah, we're not going to do anything to hurt the consumers, blah blah blah, then that wouldn't make sense. That would hurt their argument.
I mean, doesn't raising the consoles in general hurt their argument regardless?
Isn't that what we're saying?
No, I'm saying, I'm asking, are they raising it now so they can say that it wasn't in connection with the acquisition? Because a lot of people were speculating that once the acquisition went through, there would be a price hike.
Then they would.
Yeah, then they would do the price hike across the board. And Game Pass specifically, but also with like the consoles and stuff like that, because they're spending what the fuck is that, 70 billion? I forget what the price is. It's some ungodly number that they're spending to acquire them, kind of thing.
Maybe it is like an optics thing. Like, this is gonna look better if we do it now,
right? Because Matt, I think it was Matt Booty was asked. I think it was in that article that you linked, Justin. Basically, somebody did ask him, "Hey, is this in connection to the acquisition?" He was like, "No." Which, I mean, the acquisition might not go through. We'll see. We'll see here in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's still a fucking roller coaster.
How much people are like reading into that article or that interview he did with Axios, by the way? Because like I've seen all these videos being like, "Oh, he said that they might bring in other studios to work on Halo." He said that Arcane's not shutting down now. It's not in the plans. It's like, yeah, because he was asked that specifically. Like, he was asked very specific questions. He answered very specifically the very specific questions. And then people are like, he said the thing.
I mean, he didn't answer the question of whether or not Halo has any more DLC incoming.
No, he kind of went, well, no, he also didn't answer if they're working on another Halo game. He kind of went, yeah. So, like, I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, there's way he could have just not answered those questions, right? So I don't know. I actually just, after the Nintendo Direct, I did watch Mr. Matty Plays roundup of that interview. And I don't know, Xbox is this kind of feels like it's just in a weird place. Like Starfield got a lot of hype, also has a little bit of hate because the FPS thing. And then you got like, now they're raising prices. Is Activision Blizzard going to go through the Redfall debacle? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, they have like so much positive and negative press at the same time. It's just weird.
There's a lot, yeah.
Right. It just feels like they're in the news a lot right now because of that.
How do you guys feel about the increase to Game Pass?
It's so minimal that I don't care.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. If it had been like a
Still a
$5
good value.
hike, yeah, it's still. If it had been a $5 hike, then I probably would have been more skeptical about holding on to Game Pass. Just because
It's still like within that range of like a streaming service.
Yeah, but streaming services have gotten a little outrageous too. Like in my household in particular, like Netflix did that thing. I'm getting rid of Netflix after next month so I can watch. They're coming out with a thing about quarterbacks in the NFL, so I'm going to watch that as Patrick Mahomes. So I had to keep it one extra month for that. But outside of that, we'll get rid of it. We reduced our Hulu. We went to the ad version instead of the non-ad version, just because it's like $20, and it's just like I looked at Emily. I was like, hey, like, because she's the main user of Hulu, and I was like, you're using Hulu. Hulu by itself is the same price as me using 2 of the anime streaming services. Like, we gotta, like, I get 2 for the price of what you're getting right here, and you just rewatch, like 90% of it, you just rewatch Bob's Burgers and Archers and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because those shows don't really have like new episodes or anything anymore. So it's just like, I think streaming services in general have gotten crazy across the board. We've done like a drawback on a bunch of them, kind of thing. And we actually
we always try to keep like 2 services max.
Yeah, I mean, I have more than that, but because I got Game Pass and I got Crunchyroll. I'm probably going to get rid of High Dive because I don't really use it. I basically just use Crunchyroll. But then, we had Netflix that we weren't paying for, but we had a Netflix account. We have a Hulu account. We have a Disney account. You know what I mean? It's just like some of that's for the kids, obviously with Disney and stuff. So it's a lot.
Yeah, the value is still there for Game Pass.
Yeah, it's funny. They've been testing in the Ireland and Australia and somewhere else the family subscription for over a year, and I'm like, hey, give me the more expensive version so I can get an account for my kid, so I can just play my freaking games and not get kicked off my Xbox, please. But no, that still hasn't happened.
Man, they can't all be Nintendo.
Yeah, they can't all be $20 a year.
Yeah. It's so funny, things Nintendo does that are like, wow, that's great, and then things Nintendo does that are like, wow, that's so fucking bad.
Look, you can do that when you make money off selling your console. Like, that's the trade-off, right? You know what I mean? So, at least that's what I would imagine what came into that math. They're like, oh, we make $100 in every sale that we do on a console. Let's bump that down to 80 and just sell the fucking
I don't mean to keep us going, but when Cody, when you were talking about the streaming services and what Emily watches, for some reason it made me think of Rick and Morty, and then that naturally made me go, oh yeah, they're doing an expansion for High on Life, and Justin Roiland's not in it. Nope. It's just Knifey the whole time talking. It's hilarious. I wanted to throw that out there because I give them a lot of respect for that, because that could blow up in their face, but also like that's hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah, they were like, well, what probably happened is they already had the DLC planned and were working on it, and then the Justin Roiland thing. And then I went, okay, how do we salvage this? Because you don't get it. They did say you don't get it for free with Game Pass or anything. You have to buy it. So there was probably already some production costs put into it, and this is their way of trying to recoup some money. But Knifey's funny, man. Like, they could recoup all that money, honestly. Like,
dude, the name also. The DLC for High on Life is called High on Knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
So dumb. I love it.
Super good. I like it a lot too. So
yeah, I wish I liked that game more. I got bored with it pretty quick.
Yeah, I like the interactions and stuff like that, but that was about it. I wasn't super impressed by the gameplay. I think I played through like the first boss that they showed off like that. I'm still a big Rick and Morty fan.
Did you guys see that rich person's submarine that went missing? And that they used a fucking old ass Logitech controller to operate it?
Oh my god! What? Yeah, I didn't know about this until tonight.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, you know that shitty Logitech controller that you see when you go like to Target or Walmart, Cody?
it's
Yeah.
like silver. Yeah.
Yep. That's the one. That's the one. They were using that to control a submarine that was going down to the Titanic.
Yeah. Like all these rich people paid to get into this jank ass submarine that's safe, and the dude piloting it is using this Logitech controller, and they're going to check out the Titanic, get a up close and personal view, and they have been missing,
Since
and
Sunday.
they're searching for them right now.
And
I
they
didn't
run out
know
of
that.
air in the morning.
They run out of
Yikes.
air in the morning. I just assumed they were dead if they've been missing since Sunday.
They run out of air
Still
in the morning.
possible.
That's the
There was
assumption that nobody like panicked
they
because they 100%
uh,
did. They're dead. I'm
well,
sorry, that's
so
depressing.
in the area today, they picked up like a rhythmical knocking sound,
Yeah,
almost like somebody
Mhm.
trying to send out a signal. And one of the guys that's on the submarine is a veteran explorer that would know to do something like that.
yeah.
Mm.
But whether or not it's actually that or it's like the Titanic creaking in the ocean, they're
Sure.
still not sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I just happened to see Logitech controller trending, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh.
so
So
many
wait,
memes
how did
about
they go
watching
missing?
controllers.
I guess is the question. Did the controller just stop working? Like, what are we doing? Like,
No idea.
It's the
no idea.
wireless
They're
one,
in,
so
they're
it
in
may
the
not have
sub
been
using the
charged.
controller.
yeah.
It's
Wait.
not charged. Oh my
Wait,
god.
could you imagine if a bunch of rich people got lost in the fucking ocean because somebody forgot to charge their wireless controller?
They're
That's
$15
some fucking rich
controller.
person shit.
Bro,
Yeah.
there's a video of the CEO of that company who's on the sub, by the way. He's the guy driving it.
Mhm.
Where he's like, yeah, why would we pay for this when we can just use this thing? And it's like $15. And I'm like,
Man,
this is why the rich stay richer, but also you're an idiot.
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
But now I said that and I'm like, he might be dead. So, ooh.
Yeah, a lot of the things I like try not to laugh at because like this is a terrible situation.
It's a terrible situation and it is vaguely hilarious, but it's also terrible.
That's
I
a
will-
good way to put
look,
it.
I'm just gonna tell you this falls right into the dark humor military wheelhouse that I live in. So yeah, I don't know. Wins play
Bro,
stupid games, win stupid
not-
prizes. That's just
Hashtag
that's what this
not
is.
I am.
not an ad, but he should have used the Hyperkin Xenia controller with the new Xbox 360.
It's not
Xbox
wireless.
360.
It's not wireless. You can't use it.
Oh, well, that's the reliability of wires, but it's not going to run out
Oh
of
my
charge.
God.
You're not going to get lost in the bottom of the ocean forever.
Yeah, yeah. God damn. Like I don't get me wrong, I do feel bad, but man, like 100% falls in my daily wheelhouse here. So, anyways, any closing thoughts other than don't get lost in the fucking ocean?
Closing thought. The Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering crossover is officially launching this Friday, and I'm not going to be able to buy any cards until like Monday. Urgh.
Don't you hate that? I looked at
Yeah.
my bank account today or yesterday. I wanted to go buy some Paldea Evolved, like a booster box or something. Not a booster box, an ETB.
Mhm.
I looked at my bank account. And I went, never mind, can't.
Not
they-
this time.
Yeah, the chase card in that is worth like $150. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna go give it a
Ooh.
shot. Yeah. Oh, the
My
chase-
friend went to a pre-release for the Lord of the Rings set and gave
Yeah.
me some packs from a booster box that she bought
there
because
you
she
go.
goes big into it.
Right.
And I pulled one of the rarer cards. It's
There you
it's a
go.
$20 card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pokemon 151 cards that I was mentioning earlier, the main chase card of that, $680, and that's the Japanese version. The English
Yeah.
versions are always more expensive. So
Are they like? Is that set like the original 151 Pokemon
yeah,
that are
so they're
featured
like-
in it?
Yeah, yeah. That's the
Oh.
idea. Yeah,
Retro. That's cool.
you should look it up. The fucking card art.
I'd be
are
curious.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic card art. The one that they have for Charmander, it's like he's starting at the bottom of a canyon as a Charmander looking up, and as a Charmeleon, he's been able to climb a little bit higher, right? And then
Oh,
as a Charizard,
right.
he's flying out of the canyon kind of thing.
Dope.
It's super fucking good. And they're all very, I don't know, they just look fantastic. The Alakazam
Yeah.
one is one of my favorites. That one's like $60 right now. I don't know. There's a bunch of good chase cards in that one. So and it's probably going to get printed into Oblivion. So then those chase cards won't be expensive after that. So
Yep.
yeah. Anyways, Tim, do you have a closing thought?
Play more games because soon enough, Starfield and Armored Core will be here, and you'll never play
man.
anything else.
You won't
until
have time.
you finish.
Yeah.
How am I going to play Mortal Kombat 12 or 1?
Bro, good luck.
I need to quit
this
my job
year.
so I can play nothing but video games the rest of the year.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you what. I think it's definitely a priority year, right? It's like we didn't
Yeah.
talk about Final Fantasy 16. That comes out in a couple days.
That comes out. Oh my god,
Is
dude.
that today or tomorrow? Something like that. It's pretty close.
Soon.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I'm probably just gonna skip out on that game. I saw it got a bunch of good ratings too. I saw like 9 out of 10s all over the place today. So it's probably within the days it comes out.
Don't worry. Just send me your PS5. I'll play it for you. Don't worry about it.
Justin's like, can I live vicariously? Will you buy it and play it so I can live vicariously through you? Like,
Literally, everyone I know with the PS5 is like, I'm not gonna get it. Like, fuck you. I don't want to watch some random streamer play this game.
I'd have to get a new capture card because mine's a little.
Oh yeah, you
It's
talked
older.
about them.
Yeah, it's a little older. It's a little jank. Yeah, my closing thought is basically tonight was our first time streaming on Kick, and we've had a couple viewers the
yeah.
entire time, so I appreciate you all coming through. We stream every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central, so we will be back next week. Sometimes we play games, sometimes we talk. If there's nothing going on, we'll force Tim to play some more Fortnite,
Yeah.
which we only win when we stream, apparently, or we at least
True.
win at least one game. So, anyways, nothing else going on. So we'll see you all next week. We love you. Bye,
Bye, everybody.